I'm just going to start
Here we
recording
go.
lah. Oh, dah mula. Oh, crap.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Welcome to the waiting room, episode 32, I think. I think we're at episode...
32, right?
Yeah, we're at episode
32.
32. And this week, please say hello to Strawlim.
What's up, Straw?
Hello.
Hi,
Welcome.
how are you?
Welcome.
How are you today? And welcome to the waiting room.
I'm good. I just woke up from a nap.
Nice.
You nap at like 9 o'clock.
Wow. Can
Also
wake up
got
by this
time.
time nap. Usually if you nap this time, I thought like, no, huh?
Yeah. I
Wow.
was quite scared.
Are you like a night owl?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Sir. So basically, this is your morning lah.
Yeah.
This was like after lunch nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like US time or something.
Do you work? Do you have a day job?
I used to, and I pandai quit my job before MCO.
Oh. It's good that you're laughing when you say that, though. It means that
It's like-
you can laugh about it. lah.
Cry.
Sweat.
Cry,
sweat.
laugh.
Cry, laugh. All right. So welcome to the waiting room. And usually how this goes is, I don't know if you've met Azmil. This is Azmil, to my...
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. nice
Azmil,
to meet you.
is the ultimate legend of all legends. I'm sure you know.
Yelah.
you've heard
Yeah,
his
I've
name.
heard of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
The waiting room is
So on
nothing without Azmil. Don't care about white people or this nonsense. This is the first time we are doing out in 32 episodes. This is the first time without Derek. Actually,
Where is
Oh
he?
yeah.
he got a job which is very hard to come by, especially because he
Yeah.
is a live sound engineer primarily. And so he just got a call today saying that he's got work, so he had to bail at the
Sound
last
engineers are
minute.
like spies, aren't they? Huh? Like suddenly
Yeah,
he gets a call, got a job. All right.
Yeah,
It's like on call 24/7.
it's like you could
He
always
rides a sound engineer mobile and
the sound engineer
Some
mobile
KGP
is just
though.
called a Grab.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so used to calling you Jenmei, even though
Yeah.
we barely spoke in school.
Okay.
Yeah, like we didn't. And before we get into how that all happened, usually how the show starts off is we ask the guests to talk about how they stumbled or fell into their journey in music. So tell us
Take
a
it
bit
away.
about how you
Got
came
into
to-
music.
how you
your
came to
musical
music.
your musical life right up to that nap you had.
Okay. How much time do we have?
Oh, sorry. Okay, you see,
Annotated,
I'm not used
annotated.
to moderating. So usually, because of Zoom limitations, we have, I think,
14.
35 minutes or so for one session. So depending on how the conversation goes, we will then, I'll send you another invite after this, and then we will just continue immediately. And if the longest we've gone is, I think 4 or 5.
3?
No, we've done
Eh,
four.
no
No lah, 3 only lah.
Hey,
Three
no,
ni
with,
lah.
no, with Z.
Huh?
With Z Avi, it
Oh,
was
Z
at least
Avi
four.
was four.
4 or 5 we did.
Four.
Oh, 4.
4. I think 4 was the max lah, but it doesn't have to be 4 lah. At any
Yeah.
point, if you feel like, oh man, these people all just talking nonsense, you want to leave meeting and
You want to take another nap? It's up to you.
you want to suddenly have a nap while you are talking also, that's all right.
Yeah. Okay. Actually,
But
it's not
yeah,
that
just tell us.
interesting, lah. It won't take so long.
But yes, tell us the story.
Okay. I guess it started when I was in kindergarten. I guess my mom. Yeah, you've met my mom, right? Like she really loves to sing and she really loves music, but she didn't get a chance to learn. So she sent her kids to like piano lessons and all that. And she used to sing very well. And she went through like an accident, like a fire at her house. And then after that, she
Aiyo,
lost her
my-
voice.
Huh?
Yeah, so she can't
The
sing
fire
anymore.
caused
because of the smoke and all that.
Oh,
Yes.
inhalation. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
when she
God,
woke
so
up, she
sorry to
lost
hear
her
that.
voice. Yeah. It
How
was quite
how old
tragic.
was she?
I think high school. Yeah, she used to
Okay.
have like very nice voice. So I think because of that, she invested in us. That kind of thing. Yeah, it's quite sad. Yeah,
Wow.
but yeah, but she. I mean, she wasn't bitter about it. Like she invested in us, and she taught us how to sing. And like in primary school, I would join singing competitions and all that. So I think she's the one who really um, like started my music journey. I felt, yeah, and so I think it was that, and then I got really interested in like instruments, and I realized I could pick up instruments quite quickly. Like pick up, like understand lah, but I'm not like super pro.
Not just
And
like
Enough to sing. Yeah.
yeah, just enough to okay.
Yeah.
I can sing in pitch. Okay,
Mm.
yeah, just enough and all that. But I never really see myself as a musician or a very good singer and all that. Even though I joined the choir, I would join the marching band, and then in high school I joined the Chinese orchestra.
oh
I'm just very
yes,
interested in music. Yeah. Yeah, I was
Ah.
interested, but I joined CHS Idol. It's Catholic Highs.
yeah, I
You
also
know, they are
joined.
yearly.
Failed.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I never passed the audition.
I
Like
also didn't pass.
really?
I went with. You remember John Wong?
Yeah.
So John Wong and I,
Wow.
we would see Simtian, Sarah, and one other girl do like a
Oh,
three-part harmony thing, you know. So
oh,
John
a
Wong,
group thing, right?
yeah, and they were like, they will go to the whiteboard, guys. They go to the whiteboard, every
Oh,
verse, they are writing down what note they are singing, you know.
Oh,
wow.
so
And they going, they saying you take this harmony, you take
specific.
that harmony, and then they're going line by line, and I was like, what?
Wow.
So John and I, this
Oh.
Chinese guy, like, he's full as a clown, I tell you. And we were both clowns, you know. He said, come
Mm.
let's just join. We simply, so he said, let's do Aerosmith. I don't want to miss a thing.
Whoa.
We both went there. We both just sang the same note. I could stay awake just to hear. We just
Wow, like that doubles about.
we just acha Steven Tyler and then just basically asked them to fail us basically. But continue
Aduh.
the story.
So those who won probably working the bank now, probably.
Maybe. Yeah, probably. But yeah, I joined the group one as well. I passed the group one. I think my partners were quite good. But the solo one, I can see the judge was like, as I was singing, he's like, so I was like, oh, I can't sing. Yeah. So then, and at the same time, I started like writing songs, you know, because I like Dido, like Avril Lavigne, like Jay Chou, you know, they all write their own songs. So yeah, so I kind of naturally attracted to singers who write their own songs, and I started writing, and I started writing blogs, and I shared some of my like very simple demos on my blog, and then a producer, like a local producer. I mean, he's more on the Chinese scene, and also a quite established like singer songwriter. They heard it, and then they wanted to sign me under a label, and they wanted to promote like indie music and all that. But uh, after like many years, it didn't really work out because they are from the commercial scene, so it's kind of hard to balance. They love indie music, but it couldn't. Yeah, I don't know why it couldn't work in the end. In the end, they are still more focused on the commercial side of things.
Like, did
And
you
then
get to recording already with them?
yeah, there was like talks about it and all that, and yeah,
Or didn't
it
actually
didn't
get into the
how
studio
old?
lah?
Oh, how old were you
Didn't
then by this time?
like 18, 19.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
and
didn't
then
actually
yeah.
get to step into the studio with them.
I actually I did. I was like I started as like the assistant producer or something like that. You know, you help to roll the cables, you buy drinks for them. You know that.
That's how it all starts.
Yeah, especially I don't have that kind of background, right? So it's a very good experience for me. And I was
Yeah.
studying like A levels at the time. Yeah, my parents my dad wanted me to be a pharmacist.
As our parents want us to do. Yes, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, so I find like other opportunities to like, still do music. It was, yeah, after high school, I really wanted to study music. I was quite like sure I wanted to be like maybe piano teacher or something, but my dad was so against it. Like he will disown me if I
Wow.
continue. It was
Disown
quite
lah. He won't
serious.
disown lah.
No, he
Intense, huh?
say, but he does that. He's done that before
He
to
has
Wow.
his
disowned one of
siblings.
his children. Ah.
Oh, his siblings. Yeah.
Oh wow. Because
Siblings.
of
Wow.
profession choice. Ah.
No, some other
Oh,
things
okay lah.
lah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
other things.
Wow.
Let's not talk about all that.
Yeah, so I was like scared. I was like, oh, he's capable of doing that. I don't want to disappoint him. And I like to study, so I still want to study. So I like tried. And then, so yeah, during A levels, I kind of like explore like different things outside of my studies. And then at the same time, there was like a artist training program. It's also from like the Chinese scene. So they the way they promote it is like they want to train like singer-songwriters, like composing and all that and producing all that. So I was like, oh, okay, I joined this thing and then I can get like get to join courses for like songwriting, singing, dancing, acting and all that. So I was like, okay, I joined. Then I got in to that training. But then in the end, they wanted like good-looking people.
Oh.
Their definition. Their definition of it lah.
Teruk.
I guess like
Schema lah.
yeah. It's not like a wrong thing lah because the people that they selected in the end. So
It's like
the aim
image
of that
thing
is
lah.
like yeah. So
Yeah.
the aim of it, it's like they will sign someone under a label, and then they will become artists and all that. So I think that time the market was like that. I mean, I can understand like it's a business in the end. Yeah. So yeah, so then I was like quite let down because I was sold this idea that I'm gonna like learn how to write songs or like produce and all that, but it was just like a small part of the program.
I see.
Yeah. It's like a talent scouting lah. Yeah. So then after that, I was quite sure that I want to continue like writing my own songs, even though nobody like really like it's not like sellable and all that. It's not ballads and all that. I just continue
Doesn't
doing
matter, man.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
how it all
That's
But
even
the-
better. You're
Yeah.
doing it for yourself. That's more
Yeah,
important. at
correct.
first.
Yeah, but the good thing about that label was they exposed me to like indie. Like I never knew what indie means, and I only know like I like songs that's in the album that it wouldn't be played on radio.
Ah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, and then
okay.
they
Side B
showed me-
person.
Yeah. So yeah, I learned something from all these experiences. It's not all bad. It just I understand a little bit about the industry, and yeah. So then after that, after A levels, I just couldn't be a pharmacist. So I just told my dad, I tried to explore different courses. I looked into mass comm, and I tried to propose to him, and he's like, no. And then I proposed like design because I saw like there's this multimedia design course that has like one course that I need to learn audio recording.
I see. So you flip through.
So
Smart,
selit
smart.
selit a bit lah. Ah.
Yeah, so like
Actually,
this is yeah. So that's how I started my design journey. So I do design as like a full time to my idea was like I do design to earn a living and then I'll play music. Yeah.
Okay. What kind like graphic
like that.
design?
Multimedia. So
Okay.
there's graphic, branding, video, animation, websites.
Which comes
Okay.
handy as a musician to have that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But just
And-
jumping back,
Ah.
we're jumping back. How old were you when you first wrote your first song?
First song.
Was
Actually,
it
like in
blog before the blog or
yeah, pre-blog is like when I learned piano, I would play tunes that
just
I don't know
tunes,
where
ah.
it comes from. Yeah, just tunes,
correct.
but
Nice.
classical style lah. Like
Ah.
classical bass. Yeah. So the switch, I realized like it's quite hard to write music with like a classical background on the piano because I back then I didn't know like what's the difference between piano and like keyboard, like pop piano. So I was like, I was stuck there, and then I decided to pick up the guitar, and I just like simply play lah, just like simply hantam the notes. Oh, this sound nice. Then that's how I started expressing myself in a more different way, and yeah, that was like high school time.
Okay.
Oh, like
Okay.
But
15?
but
Yes.
any of your siblings also musical? Because they all, I mean, carried on doing something musical, or they can't stop. Or you're the only one. Or...
Yeah, I've one younger brother. He has perfect pitch. I'm so jealous.
What?
Like you can just play anything. He's like, oh, this note, that note. Yeah. But he only likes it as like a hobby. So
Oh, he doesn't.
Always like that lah. Always like that. People yang ada, is biasa fellas like us lah yang
Yeah.
yang actually get into it. That actually gets
All of
into
us
it,
who
right?
have non-perfect pitch, like imperfect pitch. Yeah.
Because we strive, we come on striving. Those with talent, like I got it. Yeah.
only
Ah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
got it.
yeah.
I
Like
don't.
it's like high school jocks, like yeah, got everything. Then become a clerk or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell
Yeah,
us,
yeah,
how did straw? How did the name straw come about?
Mm.
What's the story behind that?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Because,
yeah.
like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
before you tell, I need to tell these guys a bit of background about how I know you. So we went to same high school, but
Uh-huh.
we also went to not the same high school
Yeah,
because
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it was. I mean, how many people were in our school? Like
Oh,
4,000,
yeah, like
3,000.
a lot of
ah,
classes in like one
What?
batch.
wow.
Like
Where was this?
Form 1 to Form 5,
Subang.
there are about 3,000, I would think.
It's
Serious?
quite a lot, yeah. Like
Which school is this, man?
yeah,
One form
cafe.
had
Like Star
about
Trek, like that.
14 or 15 classes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
each
It's quite
class
big.
had about 40 to 50 people.
Whoa.
And it
Whoa.
was majority Chinese people, Chinese students,
Ah,
or
Yeah,
Chinese
yeah, yeah.
educated. And I was nearly always the only Indian in class. And
ah.
I think, man, in the 5 years I was in that school, I have to tell you all, I think Jenmei and I have never shared a conversation.
Yeah,
Oh,
we were never
serious?
in the same class.
Yeah,
Oh.
We're not in any sports teams together, not in any clubs.
no.
But
The
you guys know each other after school.
Yeah, because one day, because I was working in Merdekaria, and then I was doing all these open mics, and by that time I was kind of managing the place already, and there was this. I I think you had signed up for an open mic or something, and the name was Straw Limb. So I was like,
Oh,
"St-
you were the person behind the...
yeah, I was either behind the bar or I was by that time already
Okay.
doing sound and or I don't know if the first time you came to Merdekaria was an open mic or you had come
No, it
for
was your album
album
launch.
launch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Your album launch, yeah.
And even when you walked in, I just remember
Can't
going
recognize.
like, no, I recognized
Okay.
you.
Oh, you're gonna say.
I'm good with faces from Catholic High. I'm not good with everybody's full names lah, because there were 3,000 over people to
3,000.
remember. Yeah. So, but when you walked in, of course, even more like I knew like there was this person I used to date who was in the same club. Let's not go into details, but it was the Quartermaster Club. So I knew the people who were in the Quartermaster Club lah, and Jenmei was one of them. But we never spoke lah. Then one day she walked into Merdekaria. I was like, what is Jenmei doing here lah? I mean, I've not seen anybody from Catholic Eye walk into Merdekaria. Let
Oh,
alone
really?
yeah, let alone somebody who has ventured into the music and
Out of
then
that thousands, only both
yeah,
of you.
you
Wow.
know, and even more that it's so like I also even like had made maybe I had made judgment prior thinking where Catholic high is gonna walk in. So I'm not gonna think that, right? But then out of all people, you walked in, and then later on I find out you you have this persona, this straw limb thing, and you're going around doing music. I'm like, nice, cool, great. That's just
Interesting.
great. Yeah, but
Yeah.
please tell us about
Strolling.
straw and how straw came about.
Yeah, actually, it was quite encouraging to see you pursuing music, actually. Yeah, because not many people around me are that crazy. And
Yeah,
you're
that's
very
true.
good at it. So yeah, so that's great. Yeah, I feel
Thank
very
you.
proud.
Thank you very much. Oh man, thank you. Ah man, that's great lah. Thank you. But okay,
Jejak
continue. You
kasih
say.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay. So I mentioned earlier that I wrote a blog and I share my music there. But before that, I think it was a period of time where forums are quite popular. So yeah, so that straw is like my nickname for all the forums that I joined. And the reason is because I wanted to select like a daily item, and I selected straw because I felt like it's a daily item, but it's not very significant. Yeah, so I felt like my present is like that.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, it's quite emo lah, emo kid. Yeah.
eh,
Oh,
that's
You
the
straws are
best
remember
song.
our straw, eh?
The
straws
emo
are
kids write
endangered
the
now,
best
man.
songs.
Yeah.
Straws are
Yeah.
endangered now. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Like as
So
I grew up,
we will
yeah.
have to recycle you lah.
Yes, I'll never die. I'll always be back in different forms. Like I'll be like a bamboo or like something or like some other objects.
Correct.
Interesting.
Yeah. As I was growing older, I realized that everything has its purpose, and like especially when they stop using straws, right? Like there's like a lot of tak nak straw signs everywhere. They realize, okay, how are you gonna drink your bubble tea without straw? How are you gonna drink your smoothie like without straw? Then I felt like, okay, that's how I start to like be more okay with myself. And there's a couple of other reasons lah. I'm a person who think a bit too much. It's just a name, but I think a bit too much. So in Mandarin, straw, in Malaysia we call it 水草.
Okay.
Yeah, but the proper name for straw is 吸管. But only in Malaysia we call it 水草. So I name it Ling Sui Cao is because Ling is like my surname. I call it Ling Sui Cao to kind of preserve my identity as like a Chinese Malaysian Chinese.
So
Oh,
very
nice.
Malaysian. It's very
Cool.
clearly that lah. We say, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Ling Sui Cao. And back then I had like curly hair, and people associate like Sui Cao with my hair because Sui Cao actually means water grass, seaweed,
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
do
interesting.
a lot of the people who know you now refer to you through that name or through Jian Mei?
I have a lot of names at different stage of
Whoa.
my life.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
How many names first? Roughly.
So roughly like 4, 5
5
names.
names you have.
Yeah,
Wow.
at different occasions. Like okay, so like my friends now who are my closest friends now, they call me Jen. So they just Jen. It's easy. When I was in college, when I studied design, they call me Audrey. Because it's like from straw. Like from straw. Like I didn't want to call it. I don't want people to call me like straw
Yeah,
because
it'd
it's
be
not very
weird if
professional.
like everybody in college, hey, you saw straw? Straw tamau. Straw tamau.
Yeah. They'll be like, straw, are you calling a person or like an object? Yeah. So like straw is like, oh, what name could like associate with that? And Audrey, I had some like identity crisis. Like they want to be my names because I felt like I'm a shame, to the family.
Are you okay?
Wow.
Yeah, I was quite emo. I can laugh about it now lah.
That's
And
good though.
in
Apa,
primary
outcast?
school and high school, it's like Jen Mei. And my grad name is Nana, as in my order name is Nana. So
Okay.
yeah.
Nana.
So
So
when-
there's
yeah, so-
Nana, there's Straw, there's Audrey, there's
Audrey,
Jen,
Jen,
there's Jen
there's
Mei.
Jen.
You're right,
Yeah.
lah. There are 5.
5.
Wow.
But anyways, the forum one, why I would keep the straw name is because that's where I started learning more about music production stuff. People are quite happy to share like how to record and all that. That's where I learned, and that's where I share, and that's also the name of my blog. And people associate my music with that name. So when I signed to that label, they asked me to keep that name because it's easy to
Like
remember. and
branding
people
lah.
can-
They call it now branding lah.
Yeah. Are you
Cool.
signed to a label right now?
No, our contract just ended like 2 years ago. Yeah,
Wow.
I didn't achieve much lah. I feel quite bad for the label. Like I felt I didn't contribute much. Yeah, it didn't
Were
Did
they
make
they
it.
pushing?
have
Yeah. How
sorry?
did the labels work? How did the labels work from your experience? Malaysia, I mean, this is more the Chinese scene, right? Did they push to produce stuff, or was it really you? They expect you to move things.
I think they are quite focused on the songwriting part and distributing and publishing.
Okay.
So a lot of the composers in Malaysia, their goal is to sell songs to big artists.
Mm.
Okay.
So that's the way they get their income and all that. Now they would also do like artist management.
Okay.
Yeah, but back then, like my song wasn't catchy enough. It wasn't ballad enough. It wasn't good enough to, you know,
Not
be
commercial enough lah.
commercial enough
Yeah.
lah. Even though they wanted to do indie. So yeah, and even if they would, how to say, actually mainly they were doing like publishing and distributing, and they will have like a team of people they will associate themselves to like a bigger label.
Okay.
So like mine was under like Warner. So I'm not signed to Warner, but they are
There's like a branch
work with
label under
the kind of thing lah. So like they will collect like a list of songs like that whatever artists they are trying to produce an album, what kind of songs they need, and yeah. So that's like the songwriting part. But like producing album, it's quite unless they found an investor who are willing to invest on this person, then things will move.
So for
Yeah.
every artist that they had in this label, they had found investors for other.
So that's the thing. They couldn't. So a few writers or like singer-songwriters they signed end up not getting anywhere, or the most that they can do was like sell songs, sell melodies, or like lyrics and all that. Yeah.
Okay. Hey,
So it is like
wait,
it's
pause,
like yeah, sorry.
Asmil,
Timing,
remember
like
your
timing.
question,
Okay.
I just
Alright.
got a gift from Zoom
Yeah, I
that
just saw
said
that.
Oh,
we've removed the 40-minute time limit on your group meeting. Oh,
All right.
I love it.
Cool.
So
Okay, so you can just
I need a
potong.
favor.
Ah.
Just for drama's sake, lah. Can
Just say we're back.
everybody just say cheese? I'm just gonna take a photo. Everybody
Ah.
just pose a bit. I'm gonna take a photo with that gift from Zoom.
I'm gonna do.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, lah, Zoom. All right. See,
Uh,
straw. Because of you,
yeah, I'm the
this is
lucky cat.
blessed.
out of
You're
The
blessed.
lucky cat.
after
Yes.
32 episodes, finally Zoom is giving one gift to me.
Wow.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yay.
Love it.
Good job for being consistent though, you guys.
That honestly,
Yeah.
like we didn't
You're
expect.
stubborn.
We didn't expect this to go on this long. Derek started it. He was like, "Let's just get together and do a little."
Because MCO, because COVID, man.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
of COVID. So it just started with Derek, Asmil, Fabian, and myself, and it was just the four of us. And then we thought, okay, let's just do week by week. We just get a new guest after. Next thing you know, we are 32 episodes. Not bad, lah. Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
Back to. I'm so confused to how to address you. How would you like me to address you?
I think
I
for
guess it's
this
straw lah.
straw is fine. Yeah.
Straw.
Music, yeah, my music friends kind of calls me straw.
Okay, so
Or Jen.
when we do the poster for this, it will be straw lah.
Oh yeah, it has to be straw, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 What was the question? I forgot.
Oh yeah, my question was
Sorry.
so the way the label runs, like what's that? I mean, like like in 50s US. I mean the a lot of important songwriters like Paul Simon, all these guys, they were like that. They were actually musicians, but they were writing for the companies. So that's how a lot of this how a lot of these labels run that way. So it makes sense now, because like when I used to, there was this singer-songwriter I knew. She was also kind of from a Chinese scene, Jasmine Gunn. It was like in the 2000s. So she was great, and she was doing stuff, and we did a compilation. A song was on it, brilliant song. Had a combination of Mandarin, Malay, and English in the chorus.
Nice.
And then suddenly she like hilang, no. Say, what happened to her? then I realized the Chinese scene is different. It's a different ball game altogether, right? So I think she ended up probably making more of that, and
Oh.
probably that rolls more lah. Probably earn more, right? I mean, like in the sense it's publishing, like you said, right?
Yeah.
Asmil, what did you mean? Like it's a different ball game, as in the
I mean,
focus
like
is more the publishing, like you're saying, or
publishing, and because it's also it's the circuit's different. I've had experiences playing on some of the Chinese scene, but also my start was also with the Chinese underground music scene. Like guys like Mark, and prior to that, this is like 2001, like ancient times. But through that, I will also know some singer songwriters from the Chinese scene, and they will invite me play. And those experiences are interesting because the crowds are different. They pay to come in. They actually pay and they sit down and they appreciate, like the kind of like it's combination of different gigs. Sometimes the most common one, of course, in the English Klang Valley scene is like gigs are free, people hang out and
okay, I know
already
what you mean
chill.
now, Asmil.
Yeah, it's different. It's different. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is the appreciation focus is different, but it's also interesting to know. I think like Straw, your experience there of really early on, you had this label experience, right? And seeing how it works, and you came out of that. I mean, you're doing things anyway. I think some people will probably be shattered. Oh, I didn't get signed. Like, well, I want to work in a bank or whatever. But I'm glad you kept on doing it. I saw some of your IG. I mean, you played in Taiwan because again the composition, the songs, and it fits there, right? And actually a lot of the Chinese underground bands go to Taiwan. That was like a place where you got to go. And because my links with the Chinese underground, on my bands we played there and we had fun, man. Fucking love Taiwan, man. It's really,
They
How-
are very
How
nice.
did you land this Taiwan adventure?
yeah.
It's quite humbling, like, I guess. I just send emails to venues
Yeah.
that I know of. Like, I look at other singer-songwriters, I look at where they perform,
Yeah.
and I looked up on their Facebook, and I looked for their emails, and I just contacted them. And I was quite lucky, I guess, that quite a few of them were open to have me. Even, I mean, if they want to be strict about it, I need like a work permit and all the documents to go there. But they were happy to like risk it, for me to like perform.
Because it
there
must be
and-
quite a hassle to go and sort out documents and all first before.
Yeah.
you go.
But like bigger venues, that's the way they reject you lah. You're like,
Yeah, of course lah.
or you need
Otherwise
a work
they'll get a
permit.
fine for, and then you'll be in a lockup in another country. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be a good story.
Yeah. But it doesn't happen a lot. I mean, you can get away a lot. I mean, the whole DIY thing. I think what you did was great. I mean, that's how it's very. It's very what you look. How you say it? You make it happen lah. I mean, I think sometimes in Malaysia, a lot of people just sit around and hope things will happen and nothing does.
Yeah.
Yeah
so,
lah, Asmil. That's it, huh?
yeah, betul.
Malaysia people just sit around and wait for things to happen.
Yeah,
Like
that's
in
why I got
Malaysia.
seen That's why I got seen politics. And like, hey, why that flirt happen? Oh, I don't know why. Top call. Nothing happens, So
Like you
you're-
never
you're
check,
in
you
the
never
right path.
know. Yeah. I
Correct.
just like
It's
very
good 'cause
thick
you're-
face
you're-
lah, thick face.
Big face
Have to.
is one thing, and you're also, you're a free agent. You're yourself. You're doing it on your own.
Proactive.
Proactive. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't worry. You're in a company of fellow outcasts here. So
Yay! I'm not alone.
you're not alone.
Your gig in Taiwan was after you had left the label, is it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So actually, the latest album, I wanted to release under that label, but they weren't interested, and they have shifted their vision. So they're doing more like influential artists, like people who has already had a lot of fans. They would sign them and then produce.
Even though
them.
they're
So
not
it was-
singers, probably.
Basically, tengok Instagram
they-
followers lah.
Yeah
they
lah. That's
train-
what's happening now.
But they can
Yeah.
train. Like I've seen so many, like they couldn't sing, couldn't dance, but then they learn and then they work hard on it, and they eventually they can lah.
So the label
Yeah, so-
trains them.
The label would like work with like some partners who like artist training kind of company, and
Oh.
then they will have like proper training and all that.
Ah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
kids listening, if you're listening in, don't learn an instrument. Just build up your followers, and you get free lessons on music
Did you
and singing
see
later.
recently somebody shared the top 10 jobs that kids want these days, and number
Oh
one on
yeah.
that list is
Yes.
YouTuber.
YouTuber.
YouTuber, yes.
Number
Yeah.
8 on that list or 7 on that list is doctor. Can you believe?
Oh
Third
wow.
is musician. Then I'm like,
Oh,
wow. 15 years ago, you wouldn't see it. You won't see
Yeah.
musician being above a doctor. Weh. What? I saw that and I
Yeah.
was like, what? 30? But the majority was YouTuber. They just want to be a YouTuber.
content
YouTuber.
Wow.
creator.
Yeah, but there's so much
Content
money,
creator,
man.
yeah.
There's so much money in
Yeah.
content.
No, but it's also a crowded field now. That way,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it's
So
quite hard to stand out. You need really good content to stand out.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Tell us about how you came about to deciding to record your album
Mm.
and the process behind it. Who you approached, who you engaged, how was the experience being in the studio for the first time?
Yeah, the studio, right? It's basically my house, lah, my room, wherever I was staying. So I didn't record in a proper studio because of budget, and I felt like the songs are not that great to invest so much on it. So it's like for me, this album is like a stepping stone. It's like a learning process. Yeah. So how did I start? Basically, like what I'm doing now, I felt it's something that I feel strongly that I need to do. So it's just like I need to do it. So I like okay, no choice, I have to do it. And there's like a message I wanted to share. Like so the theme is excursion. It's about my traveling experience. So I like to backpack and all that. And I wanted to share. I wanted to encourage people to expand their worldview because music has done that for me. Like I had a really good piano teacher. She didn't just teach me like the exam songs. She would show me like pictures of how people dress up during that time during when they compose this piece. Like for example, sometimes Beethoven he will write a song for a prince, like a king, you know, some events, and then she will show me pictures like, oh, this is how they dress up, and
Wow.
this is how other people dress up, or this is how the buildings look like. And she will show me like visuals of it, and then she'll tell me stories. So then I'm always very curious about Beethoven's like how his upbringing, his environment was. So when I was studying in the UK for like 1.5 years, then I grabbed the opportunity to like go to Germany to check out his
course.
birthplace. Yeah.
Nice.
So I wanted, and then she told me like that a lot of notes I couldn't play because like even though my fingers are quite long, but I can't like reach all the notes. Then she said, "Oh, it's because Germans have like huge hands, so you know that's why like they play like
It's,
that."
it's true.
Yeah.
The
I was like, okay,
European
makes sense,
genome is
makes
bigger.
sense.
Wow,
But
very
when I went,
understanding. Good.
yeah, I went to his house, right? One of his house, there was like a piano there, so he used to play on this piano. I was like, oh, and I realized the keys were a bit thinner.
Oh, cheating, eh? Yeah.
So I was like, oh, maybe it's not entirely because he has big hands, you know, he has like smaller hands, yeah. But the she is the one who like made me want to like see more of the world, want to like explore more. So then when I started traveling in Germany, then I started like the travel bug just like came on to me, and I started to travel a bit more. And I experienced a bit more of the culture and all that. And I wanted to share that experience because when I was traveling, I did it alone most of the time. But everyone
Best
will
way.
discourage
That's the
you.
best.
But everyone will discourage you.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I wanted to do it like an example. Like even me, like a normal person, I could do that. So you can do that also. So that was the starting point on why I wanted to do this album. Yeah, I'm more of like a idea like message kind of thing rather than the music style, or like music is like a tool for me to express.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
or like
It's a
record my
tool.
journey. Yeah.
True. I agree.
And yeah,
Cool.
and actually, like those songs, like I came back in 2015. So the songs I wrote was quite long ago when I have done multiple different demos for most of the songs. And I tried to work with like different music arranger or like producer and failed a few times lah. But in the end, so I met Day Kim at Studio Hive. It's one of the jamming studios where my friends would hang out and all that. So he invited me to one of his EP launch. And from there, I started to know him. And then he wanted to collaborate. So I just gave one of the demos to him. And then he was very interested and he completed the demo and I really liked it. We worked on it together. And then after one song after another, and we end up, and then he ended up just like, let's just do the whole album together. Yeah,
Oh,
so that's
nice.
how it came about. And at the time, so I was, after I graduated, I worked as a designer. And then I was like, okay, career wise, like it was moving, things were moving, and I was quite focused on my work as well, and then it's other things happening around my life. And that's why it took quite some time, like 3-4 years, to produce this, because I was working. And then yeah, it's quite hard to balance.
And
And
then
then
other
until
things.
one point, yeah, it's like, because like designer, right? You start as a junior designer and then senior, and then art director. And then eventually I got an opportunity to be like a creative director for NGO. So most of the job that I took was, and I work for a non-profit organization. Yeah, so it's not like huge, like fancy
You, don't-
agency lah. So
you don't deal with all these artless clients. Yeah, I like the
yeah,
color.
yeah.
Color, make bigger font.
What were
Yeah,
the
not to like earn big money, but it's more like, okay, how do we
Yeah.
get funding for this?
what were
Good,
the
Yeah,
good, good.
so
NGOs that you worked with?
huh?
What were the
Uh,
NGOs that you
it's
worked with?
the one that I worked with. My creative agency is called Met Squared, and they serve like YTL Foundation, Marsing Foundation, uh, the Montfort Boys Schools,
Oh,
Alpha,
okay.
like Christian related
Yeah, yeah.
bodies also. Yeah, so I work on those. And at one point I realized I sort of like forgot that I'm working so that I can make music. But in the end, I just like working.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And then I reached like, I was like, okay, what kind of level I need to reach to be like satisfied and all that. Then I realized that I need to come back and focus on music. So I just like quit my job. Because the last job I had, um, I it, yeah, they hired me as like a creative director, but they didn't really believe in branding. So that was the point where like, okay, I decided not to carry on with the probation and I just quit. And then at the time, they had to go to Korea. He's a Korean born but based in Malaysia, but he had to go back to Korea to serve his national service.
Oh,
So that was
Oh,
one of the things that pushed us to like quickly finish the album. So it all happened like together.
wow,
Yeah,
cool.
so
You
that's
need that push
why
sometimes. Yeah.
yeah. So that's how the album came about. And we just recorded and produced most of the things at home. Some of the songs I had someone else like arrange for me, like the guitar parts. The nicer the guitar parts are not done by me.
oh,
Yeah, so
Okay.
I had like some other guitarists worked on it, or like yeah. We just piece everything together at the end. Yeah.
Nice.
that's good.
Nice.
It's a nice album.
Oh, thanks.
And
Is this the one? Is this the one that was launched at Live Fact and the one that Brandon opened or
Yeah,
something?
yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, thanks for performing.
No, honestly, when you asked me to
So
do that, I was like, I mean, I know we don't have much history aside from being in the same school, but for that to happen to me, I that was just amazing that
Cool.
there was
Yeah.
somebody else from not just my school but from my batch who decided to venture into this journey. And I don't know, man, I was just
It's
like,
a movie, man. This is like a movie script, man.
movie.
I was just like, man, I couldn't, a part of me couldn't believe it. Like, it was hard to imagine anybody in our school doing independent music. It was hard to believe lah, because I mean, you know what
Your
Catholic High
squares,
was
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
I left Catholic High wanting to be an accountant. No joke.
Hey, what? Nothing wrong with counter.
I,
I got A1 for accountancy. I almost became one too.
Oh,
I also got
I,
A1.
I
That's
screwed
why
up
I
in
wanted to be
college.
the accountant.
Huh?
But
oh.
that's what the
Oh, everybody wants to be okay. Okay, I now
no,
get it.
that's what the education system did. Like I didn't
Okay.
leave school, even though my dad was a musician and the
I
influence was
see.
there. And I maybe I was performing at home at parties or what, just for fun or interact or whatever. But there was no like, oh, I'm going to leave school and do music.
Because my
So
dad does music. That's true.
yeah,
No.
and then when of course eventually years passed, and I'm just gonna keep saying this throughout this session, but honestly, when you asked me to open for you, I was just like, I was so honored lah. I was so like, I couldn't believe that. I just couldn't believe it lah. Considering we never
Oh.
shared a conversation.
Speechless.
Yeah, that we never shared a conversation in school. Like
But you
in
have a
school,
bond already.
yeah,
Yeah.
in school, it feels like we are opposite worlds. Like I would look at you and be like, "There's no way." I'll be honest with you, Jeremy. Now, back in school, when I used to see the quartermaster gang and all your group and all that, there would have been moments where I would have like, there's no way these people are going to talk to me. Just
Uh,
just out of sheer society, just groups and cliques and all that. There's cause I mean it's a big school lah, and we all have different cliques and all that. We all choose our friends and whatnot. So to see
outsider lah.
to have like to me it was like kind of two opposites in a way, finding a common field and then bumping into each other. And I still
But
remember you walking into Merdekaria. I still remember it, and I just remember going,
It was so long.
yeah, I just remember going, what? Man, what's going on here? All right, but it was so
but
cool.
let's look at what certain common threads you both probably share. Do you guys feel like even in school you know like yeah you're part of these cliques, but do you always feel like I'm the odd one out here? Do you
Oh
always
yeah.
feel like that? Like
I felt it on a
yeah,
daily basis because everybody
okay,
around me was
the minority.
Chinese
Yeah,
expat.
minority.
I was just this Indian fella
Yeah.
running around. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I had no
I
idea you were
yeah.
into music in school at all.
Yeah, I always feel like a bit like different, not different lah, not like special, but it's like I can't click with people like
Mm,
100%. Yeah, since like primary school, maybe kindergarten. Yeah, I always had that. And in school also, okay, back then I was dating someone, and then that person wasn't very encouraging in my school activities.
wow.
Oh,
So yeah, so
the
I was
person you
like,
were dating was in our school.
shh, shh, shh.
Oh, okay. How do you say? I don't want to say.
我不要讲，
我不要讲。
不要讲。
See,
Yeah, it was
我的 Mandarin
不要
很
不要
bad, very bad,
很
very
好，
bad.
很好。
很好，很好，谢谢。
Yeah. So, but like, yeah, that's a good question. I guess that's why I like music and art because it brings people together, and it also helps me come out of that kind of situation where I was like constantly being told I was not talented enough to do this or I shouldn't do this and all that. And one of the ways how I managed to carry on because I watched this anime. I don't always watch animes, but I watched this anime. It's about like a band. Yeah, it's called Nana. So it's like a Japanese rock band and all that. And she was in a relationship with a guy, and they were all in the same band. And then he taught her how to play the electric guitar and perform and all that. And in the end, he became more famous. And then he asked her to like follow him. So like she's like always like the person to tag along. And then she realized that she doesn't want to be just a follower. She wants to be her own person. And there was a very significant scene where she jumped out of the train, but they're supposed to go to the same city and happily ever after. She jumped out of the train. She left him to pursue her own thing, which
Wow.
is her own music. Yeah. So she could just latch on to him, he's famous. Then I can, tumpang glamour and do my own thing, but she didn't. She jumped off the train and then she was very sad, and then she continued her music journey. So I was like,
Journeys.
yeah, man, this guy
Yeah.
sucks. So
Yeah,
I
man.
should just do my own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just leave him in the
Self-centered guy.
dream. Let him go in
Yeah.
the dream.
Actually,
Back
it's
then
the
it
way around.
wasn't like
Steve
that
was-
lah. Back then it's like
Of course, anime will get you, man. Regardless, I don't watch a lot, but every time I watch anime, I'm like, wow, like yeah. But Nana, so you got that name from that movie also.
yeah.
Ah, there you go.
Random.
All right. Cool.
So since the launch of the album, right, Straw, like it was launched sometime in 2018,
19, yeah.
and how has that been for you? Like 2020 was like the pandemic and everything, and then what's next after this? Are you like working on something new, getting out something new or whatever?
Yes. So in 2020, I actually planned to go around Malaysia, like different states, like find like nice cafes or like, places where people appreciate indie music to like, share and to find new audience, to reach out. Because that's what I did in Taiwan. I went to different cities and I met like different people and all that. So I wanted to do it for Malaysians like here, and I couldn't. So then I decided to do it online. So I kind of space out the promotion thing. So every song I will take like a month or two to explain or to share the story behind the song, because it's about like story sharing kind of thing. So that's what I was doing, and it was also to buy time while I prepare to release other singles, and I am working on an album. I'm still at the research phase.
Nice.
Yeah, I had a theme. So this time I wanted to try having a theme first, and then like a rough structure, and then write the songs according to this. I wanted to try
Nice.
this
I like
format.
that. I like that. Oh, so you're into that too. I love that, man. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
research. It doesn't sound like music research, but I love that. That's cool. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
even I don't do that. I mean,
You can try.
not to that point.
Hey, it's
yeah.
fun.
No,
It's fun. It's
like,
different, man.
but when you're saying it
different,
like
yeah,
that,
it is
that's
interesting.
how albums are done. You think about things like this, a theme and all first before you get into.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, an album to me
doing
is like a
something.
family of songs,
Ah,
Yeah.
I mean, every time I do an album, it's like 10 songs. There's always what I call sibling songs. On an album, there's always
Oh,
another
sibling.
2 songs that kind of like are similar in structure, theme. Sometimes you put a song next to each other, which I did new album, and another friend said, those 2 songs sound similar. It's almost like a put down, but it's like, yeah, it's meant to be similar. They kind of like, they look
Oh.
alike. But interesting. I mean, these are stuff like along the way that like I realized, oh yeah, So then, so that's where, like you lah, I think a lot too much sometimes also. Like, don't care lah, but then you shop with your own songs lah, it's fine. Because you find joy
Yeah.
that some people will might not get, it's okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Yeah, it's like traveling lah. You travel, you're alone, you're seeing things. You don't have to share everything, right? Like some influencers do, right? Hey guys, you don't have to. But cool, good to know. Research, you also do that. Nice.
Research lah. Don't know jadi or not. I'm quite scared, but yeah. I enjoy the
It's
process.
exciting.
Yeah. yeah.
Exciting.
I like to speak with different people. Like this one, I really appreciate that you guys have me here. So I enjoy
Thanks
talking
for
to
being a
like
part
different
of this.
creative people. Yeah.
Cool,
It actually
So
makes,
that's what
it
I'm
makes
doing.
sense. It kind of makes sense though. Like, see, Azmil telling, and while Azmil was explaining, it made sense. Like when I launched my debut album with Brendan as well in 2016, and then come to think about it now, the songs are actually all linked together in a way. It was a phase. Like, these were all stories that were in that phase, and I guess that's the struggle now, because I'm like, I have some songs, but how do I link it? And I'm like, oh no, I can't link it with that, because that album is that album, and it was
Yeah.
a whole storytelling there. Now
Yeah.
it's okay. Now it's new stuff. You know. And
I treat albums macam film lah. But my background is
Yeah.
filmmaking, So for me, albums are short films, But when you talk to somebody who's got music training, sometimes it's a bit boring. They talk about things, right?
Technical.
Technical, yeah, that
Technical.
practice. I don't know, you know, whatever it is.
Oh my god, so funny. Practice.
Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
cool, cool.
Practice.
Yeah.
Aduh. But it's
I
good
did
lah.
not call. Yeah.
You're following your own
Shot
calling.
sendiri a bit lah.
I have
Kena
to.
shot
I
sendiri
still
because
can.
If you don't,
yeah.
this is what I tell people. If you don't shock sendiri, who going to shock for you?
Shot.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. You're right. Wow. Hashtag. It's new
Hashtag.
quote.
Yeah. Kena shot sendiri and no shame in that. Because I always also tell friends like whenever you feel like kind of down in what you're doing, you go back to the first time when music, why you enjoy making music. Go back to that, and no one can touch that. That's like your
Mm,
Yep.
superpower inside lah, because like
Correct.
people tak faham.
Tonic, man.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
people tak faham, but it's okay. Tak faham, you're
Everybody
lost.
in this room here got one album at least. Wow.
Wow.
There you
Shock,
go.
Shock or not? Hey.
Yeah. Kena.
I also shocked. I also goosebumps a bit now. Hey, nice one.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Have to.
Yeah.
Lain tau, no, really very different. If you start thinking of collections of songs as an album, not just a compilation of singles, you approach the craft in a very different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like you still have to be relevant, because like now the trend is like singles and all that, right? So you need to find like a way to fulfill both worlds. Like
or
how
you can cheat.
like,
You can make people think it's single.
single. Hey.
I'm releasing
Yeah.
a single, but it's 25 minutes long.
Yes. Yeah. All these
Yeah.
post-rock bands like that one, like
Oh yeah.
one song. This album just one song, like 50 minutes. So that's smart.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite encouraging that you encourage people to. I mean, you are appreciative towards like albums, because most people were like, "Why are you doing album?"
Yeah, of course.
Which is,
Yeah,
I mean, everybody says that now also because it is an attention span thing. It is a
Mm,
cost efficient thing. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
of course, I think especially our society today, at least those who are active or very immersed with technology, um, attention span is minimal to content. Like, even just that
Yeah.
day I was talking to somebody, is like, now we watch something also, a lot of us, like,
of course.
you
Yeah.
immediately want
Skip,
to
skip,
find
skip.
out what the
Or,
video is
yeah.
about. So you're like,
Forward.
just
Yeah.
tell me
Forward,
what it is,
forward.
then skip, and the thing
But,
is,
but
it's not even your
Mm.
choice, that you're doing it. It's you've been conditioned to act like this because there's so much content and you've got no time. You cannot just sit down. Otherwise, 24 hours will be on Instagram stories, just looking at other people and what their content and not really achieving anything.
But I also think it's
Yeah.
the gimmick. Like at the end of the day, it's still like
Yeah.
I don't know. Like because I feel like, for example, it's how you planned it out. Like
Yep.
you may have already completed your album, but like what Azmil said, you cheat. You make them
Yeah.
believe like it's a single. Like I think what's her name? Haley did something like that. Like she released like a very catchy single, and then just leaves everybody hanging there, and everybody's like anticipating like, oh shit, wait, hold on, is she like
More?
is that an album and all that? And then yes, that she actually has a full album,
Yeah.
and for them to know more, you got to go and listen to the album. And
Yeah.
recently, one of my favorite bands, Wolf Alice. So I
Oh.
know when they broke onto the scene, they came up with an album, and it was a brilliant album. And then after a while, it was just so quiet. So quiet to the point like they were not even uploading anything on their Instagram account and all that. And then next thing you know, when the new post come on Instagram, is them talking about the
Yeah.
release of the single. But I'm
Exactly.
very sure in the next coming months or whatever, Wolf Alice probably
Yeah.
going to announce and say, okay, we got an album out, and that single is actually part of that album.
There's no need to play catch up. I mean, you see, trends are cyclical. So if you keep on doing what you're doing now, people who are trying to chase what's trendy now, eventually you go back to whatever you're doing, and suddenly you find yourself back in trend. You get it? Or not? It's like, no, it's true. Like you just hang on doing, just focus, just do. Don't care about the noise is happening. Yes, I mean certain things like I think Brandon says very important. If let's say you just want like bring attention to a new work that you're doing,
Mhm.
you have to do maybe do something that's very snappy and quick, but that's not at the expense of what you're trying to achieve lah.
Yeah,
You know.
correct.
Mm.
There, like even I don't know why every time I want to address you, I don't know. My brain is going straw, Audrey, Yenbe, Jen. I'll be like, I'm gonna
Yeah,
combine all. I'll
Lim,
be
just
like,
Lim.
oh, Audi Jen
the
straw.
name says straw down there.
Lim.
It says straw.
So, see now I forgot the question. Like you were saying just now, what were you saying? Ah, yeah, crap. Forgot the train of thought lost. Yo.
Never mind, move on, move on.
Nana, let you
Move
go
on.
already. The train. You're on the train.
Ciao. Jump off the train, dude.
Next station already.
Next station. Yo, I'm alone now. Sweat.
So I mean,
Yo.
okay. While you're thinking, like, what you're researching on now for that new album? Maybe you could share if you're willing to share lah.
I'm quite afraid to share because like I don't know what the final product will look like. It might look very different. But basically it's my journey, my continuation of my journey lah. Like after I travel, I sort of like search for the meaning of life, like very luxurious, right? Like wow, search for meaning. So young doing all this. Yeah, but basically the biggest takeaway I got from traveling was my identity as like Malaysian, because I realized a lot of people overseas, they might complain a little bit about their country, but they really love their country. They are very proud of their country and their language and all that. And I realized like Malaysians, most of the time when we travel, we talk really bad about our country.
Yeah.
We
Huh?
really,
Yes,
yeah, I
as
think
in when we travel abroad, we talk bad
yeah,
about
like when we
it.
have
Yes,
conversation, because sometimes they will feed back to me. Because I mean, I'm quite introverted, but when I am in the mood, I would like talk to a lot of people, like in the backpackers and like other people or like people I meet. And then some they will bring up like, oh, Malaysia, oh yeah. And they had like this idea that our country is like perception that our country is like very bad and like very corrupted, and the stereotypes of like different races. They even know, they know the stereotype of our different races. And I feel so ashamed, and I felt I need to correct it. I felt like we should stop doing that. I also did that at the start. I was like, I'm so corrupted and blah 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 all that. Yeah. But I mean, I learned to appreciate my country a bit more. I learned to not complain so much and try to do something about it. But I mean, I can't solve all the problems in my country. But I felt like I should be proud as a Malaysian, because like I studied in UK, and the country is quite. I mean, the size is similar to Malaysia's size, but why are we so left behind? Like we have so much more better, like we have better resources than them. We have better like living. I mean,
well, the British colonized us.
Yeah. So I was like, why are we like bashing? Like, why are we like, talking
that's
bad
true.
about ourselves?
No, it's
Blame
very
it on
important. I
the
think
crowd.
traveling is very important. Yeah, that's what it incites. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
That's the one
so-
thing I regret lah about not doing before the pandemic happened is traveling.
Hey,
Is
traveling.
traveling.
don't worry, man.
It's okay. There's a lot of
it can
YouTube
still happen.
videos about traveling, so you can just watch. You don't have to go through all that.
No need
Hey,
to buy
I mean,
ticket,
even-
just YouTube.
No,
Yeah.
even travel your own country. I mean, most people, Malaysians,
Yeah.
Malaysians probably have been to Europe, probably never been to the East Coast, never been to Borneo.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
travel around, go here and there. Been to North Pole, never been to Kuching.
Yeah, that's the thing. People recommend like Sabah Sarawak to me, like foreigners. They recommend it to me, and I said, "Oh, I'm now in like Europe, but I've not been to Borneo." I was like, "Oh man,
Oh.
kantoy." Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. So like basically, it's a journey of me trying to find out what it's like, what it's being Malaysian, or what it means to be Malaysian. Yeah,
Nice.
it's my
nice.
journey lah. Yeah.
That's a good journey. Yeah, man.
I
Yeah.
had to like study a lot of like history, like
Oh, I
why.
love that shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And like apparently not all history books are like correct. You have to like study alternative history. yeah, the school
I
history
hated
and blah
history
blah
in
blah.
school. I hated
Yeah, because
history
so
in school.
boring.
Oh my
I
god,
like
I
history
hated
after I
history.
finished school.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
you know what I thought? No, I think they purposely make you history boring so that you won't ask questions.
Oh
Ah,
wow, that's different. Oh wow,
Yeah, man.
yeah.
Well, I'm an educator, so you know, I kind of look back and like, no wonder they made it boring,
mm,
bastards. You know?
mm.
Don't want you to know anything so they can keep
Keep,
taking
Ah,
you for
yeah.
a ride, basically.
they keep us in the bucket, and we all fighting to get out of the bucket.
Uh,
Oh man, we're learning
Yeah.
outside bucket now. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting, lah.
Cool.
Story. Yeah, I mean, I think those are worthy pursuits. Very
Yep.
important.
yeah.
Thank you. I
Honestly, I
hope so.
think
Yeah.
based on what you're saying, like the way you're going about things is very is
Organic.
admirable. It's
Oh, it's,
admirable.
thank you.
No, really, no joke. Like,
It's quite tough.
I mean,
Yeah.
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 I mean,
well,
yeah.
Yeah.
well, you
Yeah.
know,
I
to
feel,
get
yeah.
to get diamond, a diamond has to go through some really tough conditions. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really out of my comfort zone. I really want, because I came from a very Chinese bubble. I studied in Chinese primary school, went to Catholic high. I mean, I have friends who speak more English educated, but still very Chinese, like, I don't know how to say it. It's only
I
like
know how to say.
music. Yeah, it's only music and design, art, the indie music scene that I'm exposed to. Like, I have the chance to meet more people
Then,
who are doing like creative things, and they care about the society and all that, and more like-minded people.
Mm.
Yeah, so I really appreciate the scene lah.
yeah,
And yeah,
Do
yeah.
you feel like
that's true.
you are more who you want to be right now than you were, say, 3 years ago, or when you started getting into the music
Indie
journey,
scene.
or just the human journey? Are you more yourself or who you want to be now?
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think I struggled that much like when I was younger and all that. Maybe because I felt I wasn't being able to be myself. Because there's no such thing as being yourself in, I think, the way I was raised up lah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. Yeah, I do feel like I'm more doing what I'm supposed to do, even though it's not the successful, like what people think it's successful.
Yeah.
What people
Doesn't
think I
matter.
should do. Yeah. But I felt like it's more meaningful, I feel. I try to live a very normal, not very normal life. Like, I dress more normally. Yeah, I really tried to be normal for a period of time and be like the good girl and all that. And I realized, yeah, I've been like suppressing lah my expression. Yeah.
Uh, well, we are all becoming. I always say my philosophy of life, we're always becoming, right? Becoming something. And,
Yeah.
I
Correct.
think
Yeah.
society is always wanting you to be this, but, but as long as I think it's, you're lucky. We're lucky. I mean,
Oh, yeah, we are lucky.
because the rest are like, follow me. It's like,
Yeah.
how do you call it? It's very Orwellian, like George Orwell, kind of like, like dystopia, and everybody just follow there,
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah. Even like
yeah,
the scene that I came from, there's like kind of a format, like how you should behave
yeah,
and how you should look like. Then, but like the bands that I like for example, like Nirvana, Radiohead, Portishead, the Beatles, they didn't set up to be like
yeah,
that. They
Yeah.
just
yeah,
do what they are. They
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like doing,
Correct.
and then they
yeah,
become
yeah,
like that.
Correct. Yeah. And I
yeah,
also think like it it's very difficult when people ask you like, oh, are you like, do you think you have become the person you want to be or whatever? And for me, I feel it's very difficult to just single out something like that, because it's always a changing thing. Like,
Changing.
2 years down the line, I might feel different about
Yeah.
things, and
Yeah,
I
correct.
Yeah.
be in that moment.
yes,
And I think with all the bands, these are also my favorite bands, like Radiohead,
Oh,
and
of course,
and you can see they all go through different phases. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
even the Beatles, you just suddenly had one era where it's like Indian classical music,
Yeah.
and suddenly Ravi Shankar is there. And, hey, you're like, what the heck, from all those love
Yeah.
songs. And
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like I did struggle a bit with like how consistent, like what is my sound? Should I be consistent? Because other labels, some labels they would share with me like you need to keep to your sound so that it's more consistent so people can recognize your brand and all that. But I felt like being a singer-songwriter is quite hard to like forever be
Yeah,
that star.
correct.
yeah.
I'll give you a tip how to you wanna sound like who you are. Just it's like what I do lah. It's like I'm limited by my limited talent. So that's all I can do. I mean, I got these four chords and I do that, you know. But work within that. I always love limitations when it comes to creativity. Because
Ah.
creativity isn't about like give me all the paint, all the colors you got.
Mhm.
It's more like I got only 3 colors. Okay, let's make what I
Yeah,
can do.
correct.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, Asmil.
Ah.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's
that,
all I can do. You know, so,
so
same chords. You
people
know.
people never finish going through what they can do with 2 or 3 chords, and then they want to
Yes.
do
It's
25
like these guys in
chords.
bands lah. Got them lot pedals one
Oh
for
my
what? Oh,
god, I
pedal.
cannot. It's like all
Lucky I'm
nearly
dumb
all.
lah. I don't know how to deal with tech. You know, like masuk plug pun salah. You know, but yeah.
Yo, so
So
true,
yeah.
lah,
So
Asmil. So true.
keep it
Yeah.
simple. Keep
Yeah,
it
you
simple.
kind of. I started writing like songs with 2 chords only.
There you go. That's all you
Because I
need.
don't know how to
That's
play.
all you need. That's
Exactly.
all you need. I'm
That's all you
very
need.
sure you can write another album after this
Oh god,
album
Yes.
with just 2 chords,
just 2 chords.
but you just got like 10
Yeah.
different
Or
melodies.
even 1.5 chords pun jadi. Yeah.
Ah,
But there's this
full.
band, I forgot what's his name. He wrote a song where it's only one note.
Wow.
The whole song is just one note.
Yeah, just na 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 na. Yeah, the whole
Wow.
song. It was
You
nice.
can. You can. Yeah. You can. Yeah.
It's not a troll, you know. It's like it's like really
Yeah,
nice.
not drone, but full song. Like I
We
think there
don't
was
know
one
lah.
Bob
Now
Dylan
you
song
could
also
be
I heard.
telling us
I was
some
like, wow.
fake story, or we don't know lah. You're telling us some lies.
Really,
I don't know.
really,
Hey,
really,
betul. Can one.
really funny.
Label, you know, if you're on label, they won't allow lah. But you know, you want to do it,
Yeah.
can.
Hey, can lah, can. I
Unless
still
you're
remember
like-
this. The Smiths. I think how soon is now. I mean,
Ah.
for most part of the song, it's just E minor, but it's just played
Yeah.
on like he just uses that effect. So it's like
Yeah.
it's just the whole song, but it's actually E minor. You're like, Barbie Johnny Ma.
Yeah. You know how liberating it is just play one chord, you know, like yeah.
Ah,
Hey, best way.
best
It's
way.
liberating.
Best.
Yeah.
People make
Yeah.
fun, that I've had people make fun that my songs are only somebody cracked a joke once, this comic, about how Brandon has 3 records, but he only knows 4 chords.
Wow.
But I'm
Make
just
fun,
like,
huh?
as,
I wish I was there, man.
it's a funny joke. It's a funny joke, like, as in it dates the crowd. Like we
Okay,
both
yeah.
respect each other for
Okay.
our crafts and all that. We are both friends also, but he uses that as material to make people
Yeah.
laugh lah. But a
Yeah.
lot of people also don't understand that you can achieve so much with just 4 chords lah. There's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much you can do. The variables are so much, and they are not even. We don't even spend the time to explore that, because
Yeah.
the minute we are all, I don't know, for some reason I think there's this conditioning to this idea that, oh, just because your song has 4 chords, it's not great.
That's what
You get what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
people who are a bit more technical and extra might, very few of the people who are technical and extra appreciate people who do
Of course.
simple stuff.
Those
Yeah.
technical guys are still practicing. That's all they do. I always joke, we're in the business. I only got few chords because I'm in a business of saving chords. We recycle chords.
That's so funny lah.
Too much chords are going to waste
So
on terrible
funny.
songs.
So funny, they're still practicing. We all finished, released 2-3 albums. You're still
Yeah.
practicing.
Yeah, all the you see all the gadget, right? I don't know, like boring.
Yeah, I like the recycle analogy. I can say like
Yeah,
I'm
it is.
straw and I recycle the
Yeah,
chords.
use it as use it as your banter. Use it. That's
Okay, I
what I said.
credit you,
funny.
Azmil. Inspired by Azmil.
You know what you should
Use
do? Every album, from now until whenever, you only use the same chords over and over again. Wow. Why? Because I'm strong.
Because I can.
Because I can.
Yeah,
Ah,
because you can. Yes.
aiyo,
Aiyo, CP ni.
look at that.
But
We are now approaching. Sorry, Fabian, you were saying, but
oh no, I was just going to ask Straw like about live shows and like are you playing live anywhere? Uh, how has that been?
Yeah. So I did a busking session thing in a few busking sessions. It was also not my comfort zone because I'm not very good at singing cover. It's not like I don't like I'm not good at it yet. But I was really hungry for human
Playing.
interaction.
Okay.
Yeah, because like when you would do IG live and
Not the same.
you go on Clubhouse, whatever, you can't see the person's eyes.
yeah.
So like when busking, I was like, whoever who stopped, I would just like look at them,
Wow.
make like connection. I'm not.
Wow.
Yeah, it sounds very creepy.
Luckily, you don't look creepy, lah. You know, can you imagine if I was doing that and I'm lacking? I'm just like,
Don't lah.
Yeah. Put $10.
$10. They'll take away they'll put away their wallet. They say, go and put, this fella gonna take my wallet. They say.
Ayo.
So where
Yeah,
was this
yeah.
busking thing?
Yeah, Publica. I did one there last week. It's
Okay.
it's an organization, not organization. The organizer is part of Stage Reset. He also started like he collaborated with like different music scene people, like they are classical backgrounds or like jazz backgrounds, and he
Okay.
wanted a singer-songwriter once. So I went, and I think previously my style, the way I perform was like I just don't care about people. I just like do my own thing. Very limit like interaction because I don't really know how to interact. But I think after MCO and all this, after like going to Taiwan and all that, I'm more open to like talk to people, especially like you're being at home for so long and now you're like being out again. I felt like wow, I feel I had that courage to talk, not talk, maybe like interact with people a bit more.
Cool.
And yeah, I think it's I think it's very nice way to build like a connection with people because music is not just like a standalone thing. Yeah, I've learned a lot actually doing MCO and all that. As for like performance, I didn't get much like invitation to perform. Maybe just one or two, and then it didn't happen at the last minute because of like the restrictions and all that. But I'm planning to do a bit more like live stream stuff lah. Yeah.
Cool.
Like I see like Brandon, you are doing very consistently, like you have all the themes and all that. Yeah, that was really, really well done.
I'll be in touch with you about some plans that are coming. I'll be in touch with all of you about some plans that I'm doing.
Cool.
About
Yeah.
helping because the one thing I realize is that a lot of people don't have the setup or the equipment to do it.
Oh yeah.
And
I don't.
Yeah.
so
Maybe they have. It's quite hard to manage, and perform and do it at the same time.
correct. So I'm kind of just coming up with a little project to, I mean, of course things are opening up live anyway now, but I still believe that things are
We
not
have more
going to-
options lah. We can do this. Yeah.
you know, because not everybody now wants to go out, even though things are eased up. It's still like worrying. You cannot really actually go out right now because you can still be in trouble lah,
Yeah.
So,
It's not the same lah. You can't. Yeah.
yeah, none of us are
Yeah,
vaccinated
yeah.
at the end of the day.
It
So,
doesn't feel as liberating as last time. You can just like
yeah.
squeeze
It's like
all
a different
together
world
in front
already,
of the stage.
Yeah, you can
Isn't
stand
it?
next to your friend, put your hand around your friend and talk
Yeah.
some nonsense and shout and cheer. But now everybody
Yeah.
has to wear masks and be 1 minute apart and
Like
1
fist
meter
bump
apart
and shit.
and fist cannot
Yeah.
fist bump also. And then every time after you fist bump, you'll be thinking. Then you'll
Yeah.
take out your sanitizer and you sanitize your hands. Next thing you know, your
Yeah.
fingerprints all gone. Huh? Yeah, I tell you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
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 So yes, you were talking about live streaming and yeah.
Yeah. Have you like tried Twitch? Like live
Um,
streaming on Twitch?
I haven't tried it,
No.
but I
Okay.
have it kind of set up. I just haven't
Mm.
done a session yet. The
Mm.
one thing I've been told about it is that, of course, Twitch started off catering more to the
Gamer.
e-gaming thing.
Mm.
But if you actually go and spend time on Twitch, there are so many people who are just streaming music. And the same thing with TikTok or YouTube. Eventually, if you gain followers and viewers, you will eventually be able to monetize. I mean, that's how gamers they spend so much time on Twitch also, because the more people
Mm.
watch, it's because their videos are being monetized and they are
Mm.
making money on Twitch. So of course, when we all start off, cannot expect all these things.
A
You
lot
don't
lah.
do things for money. You just
Yeah.
doing it
Yeah.
because it's a different platform that's available, and it's just it's a new crowd lah. It's same like going to another state and
So this
an
so
open
this
mic.
one what gamer
Yeah.
people watch gamers play games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
Basically, Twitch is a platform where you can stream your screen while you are gaming, and you can talk while you are gaming, and people watch you. Like a
Yeah.
lot of people watch.
Maybe you
And
should do one lah. We're watching videos. Watch musicians watch YouTube music
yeah,
videos.
Asmel, you'll be
I'm listening.
surprised,
I'm listening to a CD.
Yeah.
Yeah, people watch. Right? I've seen all these reaction videos. Like crazy, huh?
So
Yeah.
never know what's going to happen, whose interest you're going to tickle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, like I think now it's a time to like build audience, like real audience. Because like what you said, like money can buy a lot of things. Like I recently got like a grant to do like digital promotion kind of thing. So I was using that to test how ads work and will it work for music and all that. And I realized, yeah, ads money can help you boost your music, but with the real connection, you still have to go on the ground or you have to
Yeah.
do live stream. You have to interact
You
with
have to,
them one
yeah,
on one.
correct. You need to
Yeah,
talk to people, lah, you know.
yeah,
And
yeah. I enjoyed that lah, but not everyone. It's not for everyone.
honestly, I'll tell you, when I started, I also didn't know how to interact with people. I didn't know how to talk to people on stage.
I think we all same lah.
Yeah, I think we were all the same, but because like the more time you spend on stage, the more you realize
Yeah.
I am comfortable being uncomfortable on stage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then next thing you know, people be like, what kind of this nonsense is this fella talking? You know,
Yeah.
you say
No,
stupid
you see,
things and all that.
all the fellas who are comfortable with talking high school, they all probably sell insurance now. Yeah. Or something like that, sell cars or
correct.
sales. You know.
Ah, they suddenly
yeah.
drop you a message. Hey bro, how are you? You want to meet for coffee?
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're taking 400 ringgit from me. What are you talking
Exactly.
about? I don't
Exactly.
nonsense, I tell
So
you.
it's okay. We all we're army of outcasts, like is it?
That's a band
That's
name.
why music matters. Yeah.
That's a band name right there, you know.
Yeah, army of
Us-
outcasts.
Us four singer-songwriters can start a band now.
Ah.
4 chords
Yeah.
only, maximum.
Each flow play one chord.
Huh?
Each flow play one chord.
Each one. Each
Uh,
one.
each person play one note of that chord. So you know, six
Wow.
people play one chord because you got 6 strings
That
on a
one-
guitar.
That one, Baru, that one is the
Yeah.
proper test of timing, you know, Asmin. 6 people playing one note of
One
one chord through a whole song. Damn,
Oh.
son.
Oh,
Ah, that's
That's a
crazy.
good
that
idea.
sound like jazz.
Actually, don't know if anybody has done that. I'm sure nobody has done that, you know.
Maybe Japanese, you know.
Oh,
Sure,
yeah.
the
Yeah,
Japanese
yeah.
guys. Yeah.
Like,
Definitely on the
creative.
Asian side of the world. lah.
Probably got a grant to do that also. You know, the more out there stuff you do, the more the more sometimes opportunity opens up. Actually, it's like, oh
Yeah.
man,
Straw, you
Yeah.
mentioned you got a grant. Was that a Chandana grant?
It's my creative.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I got it. I was trying to sell my mask. Okay, so how I sustain now without like a full time design job is to sell like merchandise or like I try to tie the thing that I want to sell to the theme of the song that I was promoting.
Okay.
So yeah, so I was selling all these things, and I wanted to use that to promote the product, but then because the timeline was a bit like uh, they delayed the timeline, and I couldn't use that to boost the sales for that product, and I ended up using that to do Facebook ads and Instagram ads. Yeah, I was just trying to see if that would convert plays on Spotify or YouTube.
interesting.
And
Yeah,
has it
yeah.
yet?
Yeah, some has results. So I think you have to test different kinds of content
Yeah.
and see which one works. Yeah, I can share some with you if
Okay.
if you want to try like how to do all the tests and all that. I've watched a lot of the tutorials on how to do ads. And yeah, it does convert, but then it makes me think like, oh, money can buy one lah. All these
Yeah,
things.
of
Yeah,
course.
Like when
because
you
you're
listen,
paying.
yeah. So I feel a bit like fake lah. Like when you see other people having like a lot of views. I mean, I'm sure their music is good, but it's also that they have invested.
There's also a
Yeah,
marketing campaign, branding campaign
yeah,
to it lah.
yeah.
You know,
So we kind of like can't shy away from doing ads and all that, but trying to just see how it can work together without looking too like salesy.
yeah,
Yeah,
I know what you
I mean,
mean.
it's just one of the many things you do. Like you
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
put
yeah,
all your eggs in that one
yeah,
basket.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
everything needs
yeah,
could use a push anyway from anybody. The same way we
yeah,
ask our friends to share and like our songs. Those are how ads work. You know, our friends are walking ads. You know, if all our
yeah, yeah,
friends
yeah,
went
yeah, yeah,
around
yeah.
talking, can you imagine if all the people you knew went around saying, "Do you know my friend?" Then we'll be famous already. Everybody here will be famous.
Or
Yeah.
people be annoyed. Are you
People
that
be
guy?
annoyed.
I should
They'll be
wear a
annoyed.
Three
T-shirt of
also.
mine.
Then they'll be
I
like,
should,
"Did your friend tell you about that friend?"
not
And I was
that
like,
fair.
enough. Guys,
Oh
we
boy.
have successfully
Yeah.
reached one and a
Okay.
half hours of this
All
podcast.
right. That's three parts.
That's that's that's
Cool.
that's three parts. So,
All right.
I mean, I think this is a good time to kind of maybe put a hold on it because at the rate we are going, we could talk until 2 o'clock in the morning.
What's that? Oh, wow.
So, I mean, I know Jenny just woke up. So, are you?
She's like buzzing now. She's
She's
fresh.
like,
Gonna eat breakfast now, no?
she's gonna eat breakfast now. She's gonna go to the mama now.
I got mama open. Wait, what? Okay, yeah.
12
Hey,
o'clock. I don't know.
God.
Mama, come to you lah. They deliver on a
Mama.
bike.
All right. So I guess to just kind of wrap things up, to close things, usually what we do is we give the last couple of minutes to our guests to talk about their upcoming projects and also plug your music, plug your handles, your Instagram, your Spotify, tell us your upcoming projects, or basically speak to the audience lah whilst speaking to us. So this final part will be all yours.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for having me. I really enjoyed this
Pleasure.
session. I hope we can meet in person one day
Yeah.
and
Definitely.
just hang out or hang out lah. Okay, my name is Straw. You can follow me on Instagram. It's at STRAWWWW. There's 5 W's. Straw. Yeah. Basically, I'm trying to build my audience through Instagram and YouTube. So I will release more like updates and news about my music on Instagram and on YouTube as well. And I also make like music videos and some creative videos on YouTube. So do follow me on YouTube because like I need to reach like 1,000 followers to be able to monetize, right? I know like Brandon, Hasmil, Fabian, even like you can follow the waiting room also. Yeah, great content.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So like yeah, if you enjoy the content, you can follow us, um, subscribe to us, and basically I don't really know like what to promote. Basically, I just want to make relationships and connection with people with like-minded um, ideas lah, or like like-minded interests and all that. Um, yeah, I'm working on my next album, which I don't know how long it will take. I hope to be able to start promoting next year. But yeah, just follow me. You can just DM me, and we can just be friends, I guess. Yeah.
Cool.
That's a good way to put it. All right, great. That is it then for episode 32 of The Waiting
Right.
Room.
Yeah,
Yes.
thanks,
All right.
Raw.
I am
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Straw. All the
Have a
best.
good night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you so much.
all right. I'm gonna stop
All right.
recording.